But for me, money really was a way for me to keep track or to keep score of my internal sort of success meter. And that's what money meant for me. Obviously, I needed it to pay bills to a certain degree. And in most of the positions that I had, there was a base salary and then there was bonus on top of that. So bonus, I was never relying upon bonus to make my car payments or my house payments, those sorts of things. I never tried to live above my means. So for me, money was very different. Now, for somebody who lives maybe above their means, maybe money and the pursuit of money and commission means making a car payment or making a house payment, means paying their bills on a regular basis. So it's going to mean different things to different people. So for me, getting back to my personal example, it's how I sort of kept score of my personal success. And the money wasn't the motivator. It was what it meant for me that motivated me to achieve sales success at any level. So in essence, more money equaled more success. And that's how money motivated me. So my point is this, is that your salespeople and the people in your sales force have completely different motivations behind money, different than me, different than you, different than all their coworkers. And if you can find this out and uncover it specifically on each individual sales rep, then you're that much closer to be able to motivate them in their true goals, their true motivations, which is the motivations behind the means and ultimately to the end in which they want. So this is really the same thing that we've discussed over and over again on this show, and which is every one of your salespeople in your sales force has a different motivator, or maybe a different set of motivators. And we talked about the 7 forces of motivation in previous shows. We also talked about the 10 questions that you need to ask your salespeople to uncover these types of motivations. And the 7 forces is much more at a granular level, getting down to sort of their personality specifically and what motivates them from a personality standpoint. But money is a very key ingredient to all this. And if you find out in your investigations with your salespeople, the key to getting more out of your salespeople is to uncover the meaning behind what motivates them. And the meaning of money for them is very varied based upon the internal motivations of each one. So since the primary reinforcement strategy that most companies employ in order to drive new sales revenues is to incentivize salespeople with bonus dollars and commission dollars to move sales in the right direction or to drive sales revenues, then this is obviously a very important motivator for you to get to the bottom of. So obviously with most organizations, the more commissions that are earned or the more bonuses that are earned typically equals more in sales. So the company gets what they want by incentivizing the salespeople to drive towards what the company wants with an individual sales goal or sales target in which they get incentivized by that attainment of. And hopefully in your company, it's a good commission plan, and it's a commission plan that highly incentivizes people to go not only at what their base level of performance is, but also something that far exceeds it. So since money is a means motivator, remember, and it's something else is an ends motivator, then what do you do now? So how do you sort of cover this and uncover it from your salespeople in order to use it as a true motivator for them? Well, we've referred to it a couple of times here in this show, but let's go back to the 10 questions, which we talked about a few episodes back. And we taught you 10 questions to ask your salespeople, either in a sales meeting or in individual meetings with them, to uncover what their true motivations are. And we taught you how to ask these 10 simple questions to get at a really very base level an understanding of what drives them to exceed, if not meet, performance standards. And there were 10 questions to ask your sales reps individually or maybe through a questionnaire. But in those 10 questions, question number 1, the question was, what drives you? And if that answer is money, all you need to do is simply ask your salesperson the following. Why does money motivate you? Or what does money get you? And as soon as you ask either one of those questions, after you find out what motivates them, then you're going to be able to find out specifically what the driver is behind the means motivator and getting to the ends motivator, which could be any number of things. Freedom, how they keep score, financial independence, beating their peers, making their mortgage payment, buying a new dishwasher for their wife, whatever it happens to be, that's the true motivator. And if you can get that out of your salesperson, and then we're going to teach you in other shows how to actually use that information to get the best out of them, you're that much closer to achieving excellent sales performance for not only that salesperson, but provided you ask it to all your other salespeople and your sales force, that much closer to achieving true sales excellence. So to summarize, money is not the true motivator of your salespeople. It's what we call a means motivator. But what you really need to do is to find out what the ends motivator is behind that money. And this can be very easy to do just by asking simple questions like, why does money motivate you and what does it get you? And finding those things out and then using those motivations in order to motivate your salespeople to top sales performance. And you can also link a lot of these ends motivations back to the 7 forces of sales motivation, which we discussed in our previous shows. So if you can uncover the ends motivator behind what money means and what it signifies to them, you can motivate them more effectively. And you'll be that much closer to achieving true sales excellence. Now, for hundreds of other sales management techniques and strategies, such as this one, you can find them in the Sales Management Mastery Academy, along with tons of done-for-you resources to help your sales managers achieve sales management success. To claim your free sales manager training inside the Sales Management Mastery Academy, including our most popular training of all time, How to Motivate Your Sales Team to Peak Performance, visit salestraininggift.com. That's it for this week's episode of Sales Management Mastery. Until next time, wishing you ultimate sales management success.
You've been listening to the sales management, motivational, and leadership training expert, Ralph Burns. Ralph invites you to discover the sales manager training secrets that will unleash a flood of new sales from your sales team. Visit salestraininggift.com and you'll get instant access to your choice of life-changing sales manager training techniques, only taught in the internationally acclaimed Sales Management Mastery Academy online community. Go now to salestraininggift.com. Sales Management Mastery.